Hey, what's up? What up? What up? What up? What up, man? Man, talk about waking up to some craziness, man. Now in Chicago, man, we know there's a landscape of a lot of beef, a lot of craziness, a lot of shooting, a lot of wild things going on in the Chicago drill scene as far as rappers are concerned, and just as far as Chicago, period, man. You know, Chicago's a very violent, dangerous place, man. Recently, it made headlines because there was this whole situation that took place with this black yacht party that was supposed to be a big deal. And for some reason, man, it ended up being some sort of scam allegedly. And a lot of things like that take place in Chicago, which is to be expected. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing that's to be expected is with their drill rap scene. With the Chicago drill rap scene, there is always going to be some violence attached. It sucks. I hate to even say it, man.
Bruh.
Yeah, I'm the bearer of bad news. I know this is some news that you already know, but what's crazy is it doesn't limit itself just to the fellas, man. In some music scenes, you would think that, you know, even in hip hop, where you might say that hip hop is one of the more aggressive forms of art and expression, you still have a separation between what the guys do and what the girls do. You know what I'm saying? Even when the girls come with something more hot and more, you know, aggressive or something more street or urban in nature, their music is still more tapered towards an audience of women. You know what I mean? Now, an artist who comes from Chicago by the name of Mello Buckzz is kind of breaking down those doors and establishing her own type of residency in hip hop by joining in on the drill movement. So with the drill movement comes shooting. With the drill movement comes violence. With the drill movement comes a lot of nonsense. And in Chicago's drill rap culture, that doesn't even, the girls don't even get a pass. The women seem to not even get a pass in these situations. So, man, let's talk about an incident that happened with this rapper, Mello Buckzz. Now, Mello Buckzz, I know her more specifically from her spat with King Yella, which is weird, I know, because, you know, King Yella, he's one of those guys that's pretty much in everything that has to do with Chicago, man. Anything Chicago drill related because of Mello Buckz's beef with Amari Blaze. You know, there was a video that went viral of Amari Blaze, who is King Yella's cousin, getting into it with Mello Buckzz. They seem to be having like a little fight or beef or something of that nature, right? Well, it looks like things might have turned ugly from there. It looks like things might have even got worse than what we had expected, because then there was some beef and allegations about who's ratting or whatnot. And for some female rappers, this was a very, very street situation between Amari Blaze and Mello Buckzz, right? Now that we have this situation that took place today, which is being called a mass shooting, it kind of brings together the picture of how Chicago drill rap culture is so separate from even the hip hop culture on its own, the hip hop genre, the rap genre. It's a different little ecosystem within hip hop where all is on the table, man, as far as when it comes to gunplay and all these things. And we have a wild scene that painted out in Chicago yesterday, or last night, I should say, where some people ended up getting shot, and they're calling it a mass shooting situation. So, man, I can't do it as much justice as, well, yeah, I can. I could do it just as much justice as the news, but I'd rather go to this news story that kind of paints the picture of what took place. So let's check this out.
Were shot in this incident. At least 4 of those individuals were killed, 2 men and 2 women. Others were seriously injured in the shooting.
Well, we need more ambulances out here. We don't have nearly enough.
How many more ambulances are needed?
At least 2 or 3.
Video from the scene overnight shows the chaos as crews rushed to.
So you see the scene right there, man. It was pretty crazy, man. A lot of people shot. They say 18 shot, 4 killed. Like, this is a tragedy for that city. That's a mass shooting situation, even though, you know, it's a little taboo to use those words. That's exactly what that is. And they're saying it came from a drive-by, man. But let's continue.
Treat the wounded. This happened at around 11 o'clock last night near a restaurant and lounge here at Chicago and Franklin, that intersection right there. A violence interrupter who was at the scene says the victims were shot as they left an event hosted by a local rapper. Investigators say a dark sedan pulled up when at least one person inside pulled out a gun and started shooting into a crowd of people outside the restaurant and lounge. That's when police say the suspects drove off. First responders rushed to the scene and took the victims to multiple hospitals nearby. We just spoke with one woman who lives nearby who tells us she saw the moments the gunfire erupted.
There was a lot of people.
Now, this is crazy, man. So this took place at 11 p.m. at night. This lady is going to break down exactly what she saw, and we'll go to a clip of somebody else who was actually at the party and broke down what they saw.
Standing out here laughing, having a good time. I'm walking to the gas station and I looked around. People were just following and screaming.
We also heard from rapper Mello Buckzz, who was hosting a mixtape release party inside that restaurant and lounge at the time. She posted this statement on Instagram earlier, writing, quote, "Prayers up for all my sisters. God, please wrap your arms around every last one of them." Now back here live in River.
Now, what in the world kind of did some dudes get shot too? Like, that's a weird, not a funny situation, but that is a weird reply to the situation. You're supposed to wish the best for everyone who got shot, man. I mean, you don't care about all your fans? Like, what kind of mess is that? That's weird, man. But let's continue.
North this morning, Chicago police say no one is in custody as the investigation continues. Back to you.
Christian, thank you. Northwestern Memorial Hospital is the closest hospital to where this deadly shooting happened.
And that's where we find Stephanie Wade. She's been there live all morning with more on the victims. And Stephanie, this is just heartbreaking.
This is crazy, man. This is a whole situation, man. You know what I mean? So, like I said, they're calling it a mass shooting situation, but man, and they're treating it like that. So the news is all over this. But man, let's get to what this report is going to say.
It really is, Val and Tanya. We watched as dozens of family members received heartbreaking updates from police, updates they never wanted to receive about their loved ones. According to police, 9 victims were taken here to Northwestern Memorial Hospital. That is half of the total 18 shooting victims. Others were taken to Stroger Hospital.
Now, if you've ever been to a hospital when it's a mass anything, 9 people just coming in all at the same time shot would create chaos. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure you've seen Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, or any of those shows, man. 9 people just coming into the same emergency room.
Bruh.
But let's continue.
Mount Sinai and Illinois Masonic. Earlier, we spoke with one woman whose daughter was shot in the chest. About an hour later, an hour after that, she found out 26-year-old Taylor Walker, who was a well-known hairstylist from the city's south side, has passed away. Taylor's girlfriend was also shot.
Dang, that is crazy. So they shot this girl in the chest and she ended up dying at a mixtape release party?
Bruh.
This is crazy, man. Chicago, too crazy.
Shot and injured, but is expected to be okay. This is video from the scene overnight showing multiple victims being rushed to waiting ambulances after attending a mixtape release event in River North. We spoke with Taylor's mother earlier this morning, describing the sheer chaos.
But her girlfriend got shot too. Her girlfriend told me that the ambulance, when they put in the ambulance, they took her out of one ambulance and put in another one. And she said they told her that they was transferring her here. But it was several people out here standing around kind of found out they loved ones was at Cook County, at Stroger.
Absolutely devastating. And Taylor's mother tells me her daughter was friends with that female rap artist who they were out supporting last night at her.
Maybe that's why she said what she said. You know what I mean? I'm going to shoot her a little bell real quick because that response was a little weird, but maybe, my bad, y'all. Maybe she personally knew a lot of the people who ended up getting shot or whatnot in the situation, right? So, man, let's actually look. I actually have another clip that I wanted to check out, which this lady, she said, and it's actually from social media, so we good. This lady said she's seen the whole situation firsthand, I believe. Or actually, this is one where people were there live, man. So let's check this out.
Put this camera on them. Check on y'all people if they. Y'all gotta check on y'all.
Okay, so in this clip, this lady was Facebook Live when the shooting took place and whatnot, And she went out there with a camera to just detail exactly what she saw and what happened.
People, I'm not even finna put this camera on them. Check on y'all people if they came to this spot right here. Y'all, it was just a drive back. I was just sitting down. I'm sitting there drinking my coffee. My friends say they shooting. We stand up. It was just rounds going off. It's all females on the ground, y'all. All females on the fucking ground. All females, y'all.
This crazy.
Oh my God. Y'all, check on y'all people.
Okay, so this makes sense why Mello Buckzz, her response was what she said. I guess it was an all-female event, which is, you know, I mean, get it how you live. I ain't mad at it, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and so all the victims in this situation seem to be female as well, you know? Pause on that, you know, and condolences and whatnot. We ain't promoting none of that. But God dang, this is pretty crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie. This is one of the crazier stories out there.
They shot all females. I'm not going over there because I don't want y'all to. I'm not showing them. Oh my God. Listen, I was just sitting down, y'all. Oh my God, they just pulling bodies out of there. Y'all, it was just a fucking drive-by. Look at this shit.
Man, who would do a drive-by on an all-female rap event? Like, this is crazy. Like, that doesn't even, bruh. Chicago, what y'all doing, dog? Can we have a talk? Can we have a moment? What in the world is going on, man? Come on, man. Like,
I'm at $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me?
facts. Let's go.
I didn't even see the car. All I know is I heard them shots, y'all. Oh my God, they steady pulling people out of there. Oh my God. Damn. This shit is crazy. Roll past them.
Crazy, man. Crazy. Let's start right there. But let's go ahead and look at this next link, man. So that lady was on Facebook Live, obviously, when all that took place. And she started recording. And she gave a detailed description of exactly what went down and what she saw. Which is, she said it was all females there. It was like an all-female rap event. My bad, y'all. She said it was an all-female rap event, which is, you know, get it how you live. Different, you know what I'm saying? But she said it was all females getting pulled out of the spot too, man, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But here's another video that I want to check out too. So let's check this one out. This lady says she was actually at the event when things went down and she saw the person coming.
I heard all this ruckus. The first face that came downstairs, when I saw that face, I called, like, I literally grabbed the phone. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I know faces. I know energy. Like, I can tell something's up.
All right, y'all do me a favor. Make sure y'all hit that like button too, man. Hit that like button, man, so we can make sure we running this up. You know what I'm saying? For providing the content this morning, but let's go.
The minute I saw that face, I grabbed the phone. I'm the first one to call 911.
All right, you guys, so we have more information about the situation that unfolded in Chicago a few hours ago. So we now know that 18 people were injured, and out of those 18, 4 people have died. So we've now learned that this was an album release party for the rapper Mello Buckzz. Around 11 p.m. when the album party was over, everybody was there. Couldn't even wait on ambulance. They had to start.
I wanted to see the whole.
The first face that came downstairs, I heard all this ruckus. The first face that came downstairs, when I saw that face, I called, like, I literally grabbed the phone. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I know faces. I know energy. Like, I can tell something's up. The minute I saw that face, I grabbed the phone. I'm the first one to call 911.
That's crazy, man. So that lady says she actually saw a face, a menacing face. She didn't put who it was or anything like that on it, but she basically said that she saw a menacing face
hours ago.
And knew.
So we now know that.
All right, there you go. And knew that the person was up to no good. She didn't even give a description of the person either. I don't know if that's out of her safety or whatnot, but she obviously didn't, she didn't want to give a description of what went down. But so far, that's what we got, man. So it's looking like in River North, the shooting leaves 4 dead, 14 wounded or whatnot, man. But a lot of the accounts that we've seen so far, man, is basically what we get from it is Mello Buckzz was having an album release party, right? And somebody says she lying, she don't even stay in the rack. Talking about the lady in the video, is that what y'all saying? Y'all saying she lying? Or who y'all saying is lying, man? I'm wondering, man. Because basically what they're saying so far is that 18 people were shot and 4 were fatally injured, you know what I mean? In a mass shooting near the restaurant in River North Wednesday night, where the rapper Mello Buckzz was having her mixtape release party. And they said it was a drive-by shooting. Now, the police said it's a dark-colored vehicle, drove past and shots were fired into a crowd of people. The vehicle then fled the scene. All right, so these stories are kind of conflicting because if it was a drive-by, how are they pulling people out? Well, they could be pulling people out of the building because they ran in there after being shot. So maybe it's not too conflicting. But it's crazy to say the least, man. 2 men ages 24 and 25 were transported to Stroger Hospital where they were pronounced dead. Dang, 2 women were transported to Northwestern Memorial Hospital where they were pronounced dead. So 2 men, one 24 and the other 25, and then 2 women were pronounced dead. And we saw from the news clip earlier that was actually somebody's daughter, and they spoke. So, man, let's actually play this news clip one more time for you guys, man, so we can get to it.
Valentine, we know at this hour that 18 people were shot in this incident. At least 4 of those individuals were killed, 2 men and 2 women. Others were seriously injured in the shooting.
Wow, we need more ambulances out here. We don't have nearly enough.
How many more ambulances are needed?
At least 2 or 3.
Video from the scene overnight shows the chaos as crews rushed to treat the wounded. This happened at around 11 o'clock last night.
Yeah, that's a crazy scene right there. I ain't even gonna lie, man.
Near a restaurant and lounge here at Chicago and Franklin, that intersection right there. A violence interrupter who was at the scene says the victims were shot as they left an event hosted by a local rapper. Investigators say a dark sedan pulled up when at least one person inside pulled out a gun and started shooting into a crowd of people outside the restaurant and lounge. That's when police say.
So they're saying some guys pulled up, or some person in a dark colored car pulled up and just started shooting at the crowd. I guess they were all leaving the event. The event was probably coming to a close. That's why they were crowded outside. They just did the mixtape release, which entails usually listening to the songs, from the mixtape. Everybody getting on the mic, talking about the process, stuff like that. If it's an official album or a mixtape release, people saying they whatevers. They left the spot. Then as they're leaving, car drives up, gunmen jump out and start just firing on the crowd, man. And that's how you get so many casualties in one spot, man.
Bruh.
Chicago crazy, man. It's crazy, crazy stuff, man. Let's go.
The suspects drove off. First responders rushed to the scene and took the victims to multiple hospitals nearby. We just spoke with one woman who lives nearby.
Jeff said they probably use a switch. I mean, probably, man. The way that those things are all throughout the hood and stuff now, probably. I mean, it's most likely, man.
Bruh.
Who tells us she saw the moments the gunfire erupted.
There was a lot of people standing out here laughing, having a good time. I'm walking to the gas station and I looked around. People were just following and screaming.
We also heard from rapper Mello Buckzz, who was hosting a mixtape release party inside that restaurant and lounge at the time. She posted this statement on Instagram earlier, writing, quote, "Prayers up for all my sisters. God, please wrap your arms around every last."
My bad, y'all. It looks like, man, there was some sort of issue with the video, man. So, man, let's see. you never know. Sometimes they take these things down because there's some more details or whatever coming out. But it looks like there was some sort of issue with the video at some point, man. But so far, that's what we know. You know what I mean? I wanted to get to that last part where they talk to the mom. So we'll give it a second for that ad to run through, and then we'll check out that part. I'll just speed through to it because the mom gives some details about one of the victims in this situation. But the two victims were two men and two women. The two guys, they have ages on 24, 25. And what we know so far is just a gunman showed up and just started blasting, man, while everybody was leaving the mixtape party from having a good time or whatnot. You know what I mean? Sad, man. You would hope that people could just enjoy themselves and it not be an issue. But, man, you know, Chicago drill culture, it's crazy.
Bruh.
I hate it for y'all too, man. I hate it for anybody, you know? It's not an ideal situation, man, to have people, you know, basically going out to have a good time, enjoying their favorite artist or an artist that they're interested in, and then all of a sudden, man, out of nowhere, you know what I mean? Somebody loses their life or somebody pulls up with a gun and starts blasting.
Valentine, we know at this hour that 18...
All right, let me see if I can fast forward to the part I want to get to right here.
We also heard from rapper Mello Buckzz, who was hosting a mixtape release party inside that restaurant and lounge at the time. She posted this statement on Instagram earlier, writing, quote, "Prayers up for all my sisters. God, please wrap your arms around every last one of them." Now back here live in River North this morning, Chicago police say no one is in custody as the investigation continues. Back to you.
Christian, thank you. Northwestern Memorial Hospital is the closest hospital to where this deadly shooting happened.
And that's where we find Stephanie Wade. She's been there live all morning with more on the victims. And Stephanie, this is just heartbreaking.
It really is, Val and Tanya. We watched as dozens of family members received heartbreaking updates from police, updates they never wanted to receive about their loved ones. According to police, 9 victims were taken here to...
Like I said earlier, man, 9 victims in one emergency room with gunshot wounds is a crazy scene, man. That's wild, man.
Northwestern Memorial Hospital. That is half of the total 18 shooting victims. Others were taken to Stroger Hospital, Mount Sinai, and Illinois Masonic. Earlier, we spoke with one woman whose daughter was shot in the chest. About an hour later, an hour after that, she found out.
Dang, so they saying Shorty right there was shot in the chest, man. And I guess from what they said earlier, her girlfriend also got shot but survived. Now, this scene was a different type of crowd. They said it was mostly like an all-female type of a lot of the people who got shot were actually women, you know what I'm saying? Which is, you know, we don't condone none of that or any of that, which is crazy, man. Especially at a rap show. That's odd to hear outside of anywhere but the Chicago drill culture. But, man, let's check it.
Now, 26-year-old Taylor Walker, who was a well-known hairstylist from the city's South Side, has passed away. Taylor's girlfriend was also shot and injured, but is expected to be okay. This is video from the scene overnight showing multiple victims being rushed to waiting ambulances after attending a mixtape release event in River North. We spoke with Taylor's mother earlier this morning, describing the sheer chaos.
But her girlfriend got shot too. Her girlfriend told me that the ambulance...
That's horrible, man. Like you mess around, your kid go out just to go to like and this was an early mixtape release party. So it was at 11 p.m. all this took place. And the event was ending. So they were there early. So nobody would expect, you know, in most cities, stuff's usually like this happens like in the wee hours of the morning, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. This happened at 11 p.m. at night. You know, prime time for people to be going out and enjoying themselves.
When they put in the ambulance, they took her out of one ambulance and put in another one. And she said they told her that they was transferring her here. But it was several people out here standing around kind of found out they loved ones was at Cook County, at Stroger.
Absolutely devastating. And Taylor's mother tells me her daughter was friends with that female rap artist who they were out supporting last night at her mixtape release party when that shooting unfolded.
Once again, man, another crazy situation coming out of Chicago.
I know you don't want to.
My bad. Another crazy situation coming out of Chicago, man. You know, I hate it, man. It's horrible to see. That's for real. And I'm not going to front, man. When it comes to Mello Buckzz, like I said previously, all the things I knew about Mello Buckzz was her situation that she had with King Yella. You know what I mean? And the situation that she had with King Yella's cousin, Amari, what was her name? Amari Blaze, where they were basically going back and forth, and there was all these snitch allegations and things like that. Now, I don't think that that's connected to this at all. So please don't take that from this. But what we do know is that there's 4 victims, 2 male, 2 female. The 2 males were 20 years old, 24 years old, 25 years old, and the two females, we don't have any information except for one of them. Their mom has come out to speak to the news, man. Now, I just want to give an account of exactly what happened there on the ground floor right after the shooting by playing this video again of this lady who went Facebook Live as soon as things took place, and she gives a description of what she sees as the casualties start to pour out of the venue.
I'm not even finna put this camera on them. Check on y'all. Y'all gotta check on y'all people. I'm not even finna put this camera on them. Check on y'all people if they came to this spot right here. Y'all, it was just a drive back. I was just sitting down. I'm sitting there drinking my coffee. My friends say they shooting. We stand.
God, y'all cold in the comments, man. What's up now? Bruh. What in the world's going on in the comments, man? Why y'all so cold, man? These people that lost their life, y'all. No, come on, man. You gotta have a little bit of sympathy for the situation. Let's keep it a buck. No pun intended.
Stand up. It was just rounds going on. It's all females on the ground, y'all. All females on the fucking ground. All females, y'all. Oh my God. Y'all, check on y'all people. They shot all females. I'm not going over.
Now, to be accurate, it wasn't all females that got shot. It was 2 dudes who got shot who lost their life. They might have been the intended targets. At this point, we don't know who the intended targets are or were, but this is what we see so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I don't want y'all to. I'm not showing them. Oh my God. Listen, I was just sitting down, y'all. Oh my God, they just pulling bodies out of there. Y'all, it was just a fucking.
Bruh.
This is crazy, man. I ain't even gonna lie, man. This is crazy. But that Chicago drill rap scene, man. And like I said, man, situations like, let me stop, man. Well, shooting situations, because I was gonna say an exception would be the Travis Scott situation that they have the Netflix documentary on right now. But that was totally different. That happens in every genre of music. That happens at rock shows a lot. Country, it happens in every genre of music where there's stampedes and stuff like that. All this shooting, like shooting up the fans at a show and stuff like that, that is almost specifically the gangster rap or the drill rap culture. You know what I'm saying? That's like specifically.
Drive back. Look at this shit. I didn't even see the car. All I know is I heard them shots, y'all. Oh my God, they said he pulling.
Now, it looks like she can't get no closer than where she is, but as you can see the venue back there, you see the police, you know, basically cordoned off the area or whatnot, man. Like you said, it's an ugly scene.
They said he pulling people out of there. Oh my God. Damn. This shit is crazy. I just rolled past them.
Now that's a crazy scene, man. So that was from the lady who was she was putting up her video from Facebook Live. She went live on Facebook to report everything that was going on the ground floor, man. So this was a crazy scene, and Chicago is saying that this is basically the people in Chicago, or I should say the police in Chicago, and most of the Chicago local government who spoke on this are considering this a mass shooting situation. So gunmen rolled up as people were leaving the mixtape release party at 11 p.m. and opened fire on a crowd of people. Now, there's a possibility they might have been using some sort of, automatic weapon. We don't know at this time. Somebody alluded to that in the chat earlier. But it's like, man, it's a crazy situation when you can't just have an album release or mixtape release party and people just, man, not get get harmed.
Bruh.
Or there be any type of situation where somebody could be hurt. But right now it's looking like 18 people were shot. 4 people are since deceased and lost their lives. And this is once again a tragedy situation for Chicago and Chicago's drill rap scene, man. And the Chicago drill rap scene isn't all bad. We get a lot of great music, a lot of amazing artists, a lot of amazing stories of triumph. But with all that, we have these situations too, man. We have these stories where people are losing their lives. We have these stories where people are in a situation where, they're leaving their artist show and might get shot or might lose a loved one or something like that, which we hate to see for hip hop as a whole. You know what I mean? And eventually, someday, man, this is hopefully come to an end. But every time I bring that up in an interview or I talk to somebody or say anything about it like that, they laugh it off because they understand the cycle of violence and they get the fact that these situations are kind of an isolated incident. And a lot of the details you don't know until people get arrested or tell the stories later. So, man, it's an integral part of what Chicago drill rap is. But, man, rest in peace to those people who lost their life. You know what I mean?
Bruh.
And, man, let's take from this that this is another tragedy in the scene and something that we should avoid.
Message.
Now, with that, this has been your boy, Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So do me a favor. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. And make sure you share this video when you get a chance to and share this to others who are going to be wanting to know about what took place in the situation or need further details. And with that, we out of here. Peace. Oh, yeah, and shout out to chat. Everybody in the chat, make sure you hit that like button. And shout out to y'all, man. We appreciate y'all. Peace.